こんにちは、てるみです。Today's topic is how to call I and you in native Japanese ways. I assume most of you might have learned I in Japanese is watashi and you is anata. But actually, native Japanese speakers don't say much watashi and anata in daily conversations. And we often skip subject and object, especially I and you in the first place. So today I'm going to show you how to call yourself I and you and some example phrases without subject and object in natural conversational ways. Also, there will be some omake information. Omake means bonus that no one would have told you before. So please keep watching through the end. Let's get started. In general, I in Japanese is watashi. But watashi sounds proper. So normally we use watashi for formal or business situations. For example, for speech or interview or when talking with someone who is older or higher position than oneself. Many women would call themselves watashi in casual conversation as well. But I think most of the time we pronounce it as atashi. But a sounds very soft, like atashi, tashi. Almost doesn't hear it. But for writing, women use watashi most of the time. And men would more often skip subject in general. Or they call themselves in various ways, like 僕、自分、俺、わし. 僕 most sound soft and kind of cute. So kids, younger or softer side of men would call themselves 僕 often. But for writing, many men use 僕 by not only younger or softer side of men. Or if you are early 20s or younger, you can use 僕 for proper situations as well. In general, 自分 means myself. But men in the city area often use 自分. 自分 sounds a little blunt and more manly than 僕. But please be careful with the intonation. It's 自分, 自分. But don't say like 自分, but it's 自分, 自分. And 俺 sounds bossy and not proper. Macho type in the city area would use 俺. But don't accent like 俺. But it's 俺, 俺. And わし also not proper. It's a dialect. Men in the countryside area or older person would call themselves わし. Another polite way to call I, also we, is こちら. こちら literally means over here or where I am at or we are at. And another meaning is I, we, or my side, our side, in a polite conversational way. The opposite of こちら, you, is そちら. そちら literally means over there or where you are at or your side. But こちら, そちら sounds distant, business-like. So normally we use こちら, そちら for business situations. Here is first omake information. In a casual conversation, we often use 私ら、僕ら、俺ら、うちら mean we. 私ら is used by women, and 僕ら、俺ら are by men. And うちら is both men and women. This character うち represents inside, and it also means my or our home in an informal conversational way. For example, うちの母、うちの父 mean my mother, my father. I will talk more details how to call my mother, my father in another video, and it will appear here once I make it. So please stay tuned. And women in some countryside area would call themselves uchi. And when it's used as the meaning of I, it's a dialect. So uchira was originally used by women in west side or countryside area. But nowadays it's very common to use by younger generations. Even men in the city area often use uchira in informal conversation. Proper way to say we is 私たち、自分たち。私たち is more often used by women, but 自分たち is used by men and women both. Or if you are early 30s or younger, you can use 僕たち. Let's recap I in Japanese. For business, women and men both call themselves こちら. こちら also means we. And for proper or business, women and men both go with 私. And women would use 私 for informal conversation as well, also for writing. But a lot of time we pronounce it as 私 in informal conversations. And men in the city area often use 自分. And 僕 is for kids, younger or softer side of men. Or for writing, in general, men often use 僕. And 俺 is not proper, but macho type would use 俺. And わし often used by men in the countryside area or older person. And うち would be used by women in some countryside area. As I mentioned earlier, we often skip subject I and object you. For example, my name is Kate or I'm Kate. We would just say ケイトです。ケイトです。We wouldn't say 私の名前はケイトです。or 私はケイトです。But just say ケイトです。I will talk more details introducing yourself in Japanese in another video, so please stay tuned. It will appear here once I make it. Another example is I love you in Japanese. If it's translated literally, 私はあなたを愛しています。But normally we skip I and you, and we would just say 愛してます。愛してます。But actually, I love you in Japanese, 愛してます is not very common. I have introduced how to express and confess love in Japanese in another video. So if you like to learn love expressions in Japanese, please check out that video link here. Another example is I'm hungry. In Japanese, we would say お腹すいた in an informal situation. お腹 means belly, stomach, in conversational way. すく is the original form, which means get empty. すいた is a past tense. When word ends with た is past tense or adjective. お腹すいた or お腹すいた. Let's move on to you. Many of you may know you in Japanese is Anata, but Anata sounds distant, unfriendly. So people could be offended if someone called Anata outside of their home. But women used to call Anata to their husbands or kids at home. It sounds like honey or sweetie, like あなた、ご飯ができたわよ。Men used to call their wives or girlfriends 君. But 君 and あなた are both not common nowadays. We usually call family members or close friends by their nickname. short version of their name. Or we often call chan with female's name, like Miki-chan, Kumi-chan. Or for kids, boys and girls, we call them with chan. And for boys or younger men, we use kun. You can use kun with first name and family name, both. Like Taku-kun, Suzuki-kun. Taku is first name, and Suzuki is family name. Also at work, the boss would call the assistants dare-dare-kun, usually with family name, like Suzuki-kun, Sato-kun. Dare-dare means so and so. Dare means who. Dare. If it's question, it's dare. The intonations are different. Who is dare. Dare. So and so, dare. Dare. Dare dare. 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 Dare dare. Here is another omake information. People in entertainment industry, like TV, movie, or music industries, they use chan plus family name, like Suzuki-chan, Kato-chan. Normally, older or higher position person call people this way. So you shouldn't call producer or director dare-dare-chan. It sounds very rude if you do. Also, sometimes we call female friends or colleagues this way, as a nickname, like Mori-chan, Matsui-chan. But in general, family name plus san is the common, especially for business or proper situations. San represents Mr., Ms. Polite friendly way is first name plus san, like Tak-san, Miki-san. Usually for older or higher position than oneself. We normally call by first name someone who we know very well, or family-related situations. For example, to call your wife's brother or boss's daughter. Let's look at the summary of you in Japanese. For business, we often use sochira. You can use sochira, plural as well. And for business or proper situations, family name plus san. And boss would call assistants family name plus kun. And friendly, polite way is first name plus san. And informal, friendly way for women, family name plus chan. Or first name plus chan. Or nickname. And informal, friendly way for men, family name plus kun. Or first name plus kun, or nickname. Or for boys, first name plus chan. If you have any questions about the Japanese language, please let me know in the description below. それでは皆さん勉強頑張ってください。If you like this lesson, please like this video and be sure to subscribe, so you will not miss my future lessons. Thank you for watching on Japanese Conversation with Terumi. See you soon! さようなら!